That's why I told you to censor it. Right. Oh. So yeah, Thursday after class was interesting.
Oh.
Well, I only on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the only class I have is English.
Okay.
Mondays and Wednesdays are freaking jam packed. So if you get a hold of me, it's best to do it after 3
Okay.
Eastern, which is like fuck you guys.
Fuck you too.
What?
What? You said fuck you guys, so I said fuck you too.
I said 2:00.
Oh, I thought you said Eastern. Fuck you guys. Don't know what the fuck I heard.
We make this episode pretty much chats in charge. They get to ask whatever the fuck they want.
Essentially, yes.
Then I'll have fun attempting to edit this tomorrow. If I get done with my homework on time.
I mean, theoretically, it shouldn't be too hard. Theoretically, I say.
I'm going to my wife's work, so that way I'm not distracted by the multi-$1,000 PC that has all my video games.
Fair.
And I actually have a place that I can just... Schoolwork is schoolwork.
Good.
It's a good thing. That way you don't get too fucking distracted easily.
You don't get that shit done, I'll hound. You don't get that shit down, you know damn well me and Remy are gonna hound your ass.
Please, I have a line of people.
Oh, I know.
That are going to kick my ass if I screw this up.
Yep.
Yeah, so don't fuck it up.
One of which has a titanium knee.
A titanium leg.
Well,
one's part robot.
Gracious. I was being gracious.
Yeah, no, it's mid thigh to mid shin, so it's pretty much 80% of my leg.
I want to weigh your leg so badly.
Sure about that.
I want to see.
You definitely don't want to be the idiot that decided that he wanted to try to kick me in the shin one day.
That's fair. But Pool, when you passed away, I'm taking your leg to a scrapyard.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
We could also.
You have to realize I have no plans of ever dying. They're just going to keep adding more metal, and then finally I'll just
the bionic parts
immortal.
and.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fair. You're already getting what you might be getting a defibrillator put into your heart. So is that like a pacemaker or similar to a pacemaker?
No, it's a defibrillator. What it'll do is if my heart, does what it's been doing, then it'll fucking shock it.
What does a pacemaker do then?
Pacemaker is basically just a holding part. It regulates everything.
And
I always thought they were the same thing for heart issues, but I'm wrong. It's okay.
So Thursday I met with all of my professors because of the disability access letters got sent out. And it was just going over, what exactly am I going to be meaning by frequent breaks? And, test taking times, stuff like that.
Interesting.
And, as far as the breaks go, I said, I just need to have the availability to walk to the back of the classroom if I'm starting to
Fair.
feel restless. I don't want to miss any of the information, so I'm not going to leave the classroom.
Right.
Like, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Just as long as we're on the same page.
Exactly.
And, I get restless and I start walking to the back of the classroom. Mr. Lucas, what are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Whatever the fuck
Don't
I
worry about
want.
it. It's in the letter you got in your email.
Fair. We're ready to start this episode of a shit show whenever.
Whenever you're ready to go.
Okay.
You're the one that has control over the button.
Oh, I know damn well what I have control and what I don't have over control of, okay? And yeah. Deal with it. I don't know. I was fucking. Alright, we're going live. I haven't checked you guys' volume, so I'll do that in a bit. I actually need to check OXLR real quick. Oh, yeah, yeah, that would help if you guys were going for the Go XLR. That was good. I fixed that now.
Probably would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, welcome back to episode 20 of Asylum Arms. This is going to be, clusterfuck, as I named the title. So, there you guys go. But before we start off this episode, Audible, we're sponsored by Audible. With Audible, you can download the app and listen to you can listen to offline anytime, everywhere, basically. And you can install on multiple platforms and devices. And if you switch between different platforms and devices, you won't lose your spot at all. You have up to after you redeem your fucking subscription. It's been a while since I've done this. After redeeming your fucking subscription, you have 1 year to claim your free book tokens as well. And that is our Audible sponsorship there. How are you guys' stay going?
That was definitely a clusterfuck version.
Yes, it was. I haven't done in like fucking 3 weeks now?
Yeah, but usually sponsorships, you don't start out with fucking and fucking.
You don't start out with fucking fuckity fuck.
Audible,
they tend to fucking frown on that shit.
Audible, I very much appreciate you sponsoring. We do not say fuck you to you. We say fuck you to everyone else.
We'll go with it and see how it works.
I don't know where I was going with that one, but
Yeah, I think just probably leave it alone. I think it's probably going to be your best bet right now.
Moving on.
So how are you guys doing today?
I
spent most of the day asleep.
I am doing well besides the physical therapy I had to do earlier.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. Gotta love physical therapy, right?
Sure, I was in physical therapy for about 6 fucking years straight.
Yeah. I hope that won't be the case for me. I really do.
we came to the conclusion that if I went to if I had one more knee surgery, I'd probably be a honorary physical therapist.
Let's just pray I don't get that back surgery, because fuck that. I don't need surgery at my age at all. I don't know, but
that's exactly what I said when I was your age.
Yeah. You fucked up your ACL though. I didn't do anything to fuck up my back. Just fucked up randomly. It's like, fuck you. I'm breaking.
Hey, chat saying they can only hear you.
I literally just fixed that. Fuck. No, they should be able to hear you.
Can you hear everybody?
They
Angel?
Should be able to hear you.
Hello?
Should be able to.
Pull you up on the monitor. Oh, flashbang.
Let me turn them up. Okay. Hawkeye talk.
Hi.
Okay, I need to turn on my headset now. Pool talk.
Break.
Can you hear them now?
Hello.
Nope, she still says no.
Mixer? They should be able to.
What's Discord saying as far as your audio settings?
Well, you guys are in the hundreds.
Like, where's Discord being routed? That's what I'm trying.
You think Discord changed their shit on me? I guess
It's quite possible.
Yeah, it's been known to happen.
Fuck you, streamer mode. Hold on. Let me check voices. Oh, yeah, set to default. Oh, you know.
That would probably be it.
Oh.
All right. Can you hear these fuckers now?
Hello.
Your screen is frozen.
Now you guys sound far away. Hold on.
There, it fixed itself.
Okay, I now need to turn you guys. Why are you guys so quiet now? Oh, that's because my headset volume's down. Never mind.
Okay, now they can hear us.
Beautiful. Yeah, Discord said fuck you, basically. There, now that those technical issues are out of the way, I already said my sponsorship in that clusterfuck of shit, so yeah.
Well, you were able to be heard.
It's true. It's true, I was.
Yeah, they heard you. So, I mean,
We ain't gotta go through
I
it
guess
again.
that's good.
See, as the title says, clusterfuck. I approve my point. That is a clusterfuck. So, how is your guys' day now? They can hear you.
I mean, my day was just me watching Dr. Lupo. That was it.
Yes, sir.
Uneventful. I spent most of it asleep.
I mean, I can't say shit. I woke up at like 2 something.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was around 2:00 when you fucking got your ass up.
Like, I can't say shit. I literally woke up around 2. To be fair, I didn't go to bed until like 6 a.m. last night, but that's besides the point.
Well, that wouldn't be last night.
It'd be this morning.
Shut up! It is nighttime until I pass out. When I wake up, it's morning because I woke up in the afternoon. But morning, we're just gonna go with that.
Take it. You know, at least you can say you woke up, and you can just run with that.
I mean, fair. Every day is a good day that I wake up, right?
I mean, that's what they tell us.
That's fair.
And, speaking as in an editing standpoint, I didn't touch your voice last episode.
Good.
Cool.
You made that man sound like a Walmart intercom system.
Man, I was ready to just start fucking, working drive-thrus with the way I was sounding.
I would love to hear your fucking reaction when you first heard that shit.
I was literally sitting there and I fucking turned it on. And I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
Messages me in Discord, goes, what the fuck did you do?
Yep.
Like, he didn't tell me that, but he knows who edits them.
You're gonna fuck up my voice, goddammit.
But hey, at least I corrected the error because I didn't touch your voice.
How did you fuck up his voice so badly?
I was on autopilot.
I mean, fair.
Editing 6 different episodes at once.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be editing these 6 different episodes at once.
Well, all in one day.
I mean, it's fair.
Well, the fun part about tonight, chat, for those of you that didn't hear about it, we do not have a guest tonight, so it is us, which means
And you guys.
you guys are kind of in charge. You get to pretty much fucking ask whatever you want.
And we'll respond in turn.
I would hope so.
Yeah, no, we're all just going to start screaming at once. Let's try to figure it out from there.
We're gonna start screaming a language that doesn't exist as well. You know, normal things. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
There we go. Got everything set up.
True.
I can smell dinner, and I don't know what's for dinner yet.
I mean, fair enough. Cool.
Yes, sir.
How far are you in your Tarkov now? Or have you not touched it since we last played?
I haven't touched it.
Okay.
I'll jump on it real quick and look over a couple of things, and then I fucking close it out and move on to something else.
I'm still like level 4. I haven't touched it either.
Yeah, no, I'm still level 4. I haven't done shit.
Yeah,
I've been doing. No, I'm level 5. I forgot because now I have.
You one up me.
Daily tasks, and I log in, and it's usually I have the stuff that for at least one of them. I turn it in and fucking log off. I've been having more fun with Lost Light.
But I downloaded
That did
Lost.
look like a fun game.
Is Lost Light multiplayer? Like, can you play with squads?
You can squad up and shit like that.
All right. I installed it, so you want later we can play that then. So I did install the bitch.
Yeah, we could find a day for that one.
I've barely gamed this week.
I know.
Well, you've got a lot of shit going on, man.
Yeah.
And you're going to school.
In person.
By the way, I found the benefit of actually going to the Veterans Resource Center.
There's a benefit.
It's quiet.
I mean, okay. I guess we can give you that one.
I can't say anything because I haven't been to one. I haven't been to one, so I can't really comment on that. I guess Pool can.
In a sense,
I've been to one before, but you know,
it's one that's actually ran by the school. They're not actual VA. They're not VA employees.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense then.
VA employees, you know, they get that all fucked up.
Still waiting for them to apply the funds to my school so I can start getting VAH.
Yeah. You know, I would love just to get a fucking I would love to get a fucking recruiter on this podcast and then also get a car salesman on the podcast and just have them talk back and forth. Get a legit car salesman and get a legit recruiter both on the same episode of the podcast.
One part is though with the recruiters nowadays, I mean they're not pushing as hard as they used to with trying to get people in because I mean let's be honest, there's better fucking paying jobs on the outside than there is fucking in the military.
I mean, yeah, when I was in high school, they were pushing because I knew exactly what Haka was talking about. Like they tried to push and push and push because they were doing that in my school, and it's just like, I don't care right now. Like they start preaching the military shit to you when you're like freshman year. You're like, listen, man, I don't graduate till like 4 years from now. It's fucking stupid how early they push that shit on you.
Yeah, but you also gotta remember though that you can technically go into boot camp at the age of 17 before you graduate.
Isn't it 16 with parents approval?
17.
17.
17? Okay. I'm just understanding I was 16.
Form signed.
Oh, so it's 17 with parents approval. I mean, true. You could just drop out and go 17.
Boot camp, we had a 17-year-old in there, and that little fucker drove me crazy.
I had like 5 or 6 that were doing the split ops.
Mm-hmm.
which is what that's called. It's split ops, and most of the time, I don't know how it was for Navy, but for Army, it was most of the time they were National Guard.
Oh no, this guy was, he was fucking regular Navy.
So I have a question for you guys. I want you guys' opinion on opinion on.
Yeah, remember
So
when he said he was going to start saying words in a language that nobody fucking knew? This was just part of it,
okay,
Right now, let's put a time marker in chat.
right?
all right. So there was a I saw like a Twitter post. I forget who posted it, but I saw like a Twitter post on someone basically screaming at like the military and stuff, basically saying that we should make it 21 before someone can enlist. What are you guys' opinions on that?
Mm,
Because his standing on it was they don't know what they're prepared for, and like in all reality, even if you're 21, you still don't know what you're prepared for.
that's exactly it. I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are, you're you're
You're
not
not
going to be
prepared for
fully
that.
prepared to fucking,
No, like
join the
even
military
if
and
you're
this, that, and the other.
21, you're not going to be prepared for it because there's nothing to prepare you for it unless you go to it.
Now, the only thing I would agree, I guess you could say you could kind of agree with that idea is a lot of the really young people that come into the military, they end up getting themselves in a world of fucking shit real early, with fucking, debt because they, have to go get the, nice flashy brand new fucking car and all this other shit, and then it kind of
True.
becomes a hassle because you've got, your upper fucking leadership is, the one that's gonna have to come down on your ass if you don't pay your fucking bill, and suddenly, the creditors are contacting your command, trying to get fucking money out of you, and this, that, and the other. So I mean, there's there's some downsides to having, younger people joining, but at the same time, they weren't drafted, they volunteered. So,
Exactly.
that says a lot about the person, and right off the bat.
If my point is simple, if you're at an age to where you make that decision and understand what may happen,
Oh, yeah.
go
Yeah,
for it.
I mean, hopefully they understand it, but
I would hope you understand what the military is, at least
I was asked
somewhat.
one question. I was asked one question when I told my adopted dad that I wanted to go into the army. It's like,
What was
you
that?
understand what may happen to you, right?
Mhm.
Yes, I do. Okay, we'll set an appointment with the recruiter.
Yep.
Went
Well,
in.
it I mean, it's just like when I went to boot camp, and I joined the Navy. A lot of our shit's on the water, and it's time for us to go do our swim quals, and we've got people freaking out, going, "Why do I got to fucking qualify to swim?" I don't
Because you're
know.
in the,
You're on a fucking ocean.
I don't know, maybe because you're, stranded by, the thing called water,
Mm,
miles away from the closest source of land.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy that shit like that happens with people. They're just like, "Well, I don't understand why I have to,
So
fucking do
how?
this." Well,
Oh,
first off, you join the military, it doesn't matter.
Snow Angel actually brings up a really good point. Don't think it's a matter of knowing what you're getting into. It's a maturity thing.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, if you're
true.
mature enough to make that decision and know that you're going to be signing a blank check, go for it.
Yep.
Um, Another thing. Cool. So, what do the like, what does the water course even entail for the Navy? Like, do they have you like swim a mile or something, or how do they do
No,
that?
It's an Olympic sized pool. And you go through various scenarios. First one is you're going to jump off a platform into the water, surface, swim the length of the pool. But then we do floating techniques. You've got to be able to make a flotation device out of, basically your pair of pants. float on your back for a certain amount of time, tread water for a certain amount of time. I know they just recently started. Well, I mean, they didn't do it when I was going through boot camp, so I would say recently started. Um, they've got to be able to get inside of a life raft and this that, and the other, from the water to inside the life raft. But
Makes
it's
sense.
nothing. It's nothing fucking major. I mean, it's not like
No.
everybody that joins the Navy is going to be a SEAL and needs to learn how to do a 10-mile fucking swim. So
Because yeah, I knew yours would be different than my grandfather. Since my grandfather was in the Navy and he told me about his experience with the swim test. They
mhm.
literally just dropped those fuckers into a lake and said, "Have fun."
Yeah, for the most part. I mean,
But my grandfather
things have
also
definitely changed.
went in pre-Vietnam. Like he went
Right,
in before Vietnam happened,
right, right.
and then got caught into Vietnam. So that's kind of how that went.
Yep.
And it was interesting, Pool, that you brought up car loans.
Mhm.
Uh, while I was in, I actually had, or I had two cars while I was in. I got a junker, and then the thing started breaking on me.
Right.
Um, then I got a 2014 Honda Civic.
Oh, you bought that on purpose?
Yeah, I needed gas mileage.
That works.
Um, so what ended up happening is I actually set it up to where the car payment itself was taken directly out of my paycheck.
Mhm.
So it was money I never
Oh.
saw.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that do that.
They stopped that program right after I did it.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Let's
It's
see.
a smart program, but
Yeah, it is.
one of the soldiers I helped in process didn't have a car, and he chose very poorly.
Yeah, I mean, we had a guy when I was stationed in Virginia. We had a young kid that was driving around in a fucking GTR. He was a E3, E4. His payments were pretty much his entire fucking check. He stayed in the barracks, and he only drove the car around, base because he couldn't afford to fucking take it anywhere else.
Fucking love that. Just drive it
Well,
around.
his payments weren't that bad.
Yeah,
It's just he came back from picking up the car, and his sergeant was standing there just waiting.
Yeah.
well, and the other problem is a lot of these fucking car dealerships, especially if you ever go by a military base, there's car dealerships all around the son of a bitch. Um, and they prey on these fucking kids. Like
No.
in Virginia, all the commands and everything on base, they had a list of dealerships that basically were banned, um,
That's
because
what he
of,
got.
of of the shit that they did to these kids.
Got a fucking Mustang GT.
Ugh.
Those aren't cheap
Yuck.
Mustangs either. Those
Um,
Mustangs aren't exactly cheap either.
that's
No.
why you hear from upper leaders when I first got out of AIT, I heard from upper leaders saying, "Don't go to the dealership wearing your dog tags. Don't go in uniform.
Yep.
Make sure you have constant contact with somebody, and don't be afraid to say no."
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't go in uniform dog tags because they're gonna try to upsell you on more expensive cars, right? Basically, the primary point in that. I mean, makes
Yeah.
sense.
I mean, they're definitely gonna try to upsell, and they'll do that with anybody, but with the
But if
military, it's a
you
little bit different because they know that you have a guaranteed paycheck.
If you show up in the military if you show up to a car dealership wearing a uniform, a military uniform, or in like some kind of big fancy suit, they're gonna try to upsell you either way. Because they know both ways you have fucking money.
Yep. Yeah, and they'll definitely fucking do that type of shit. And it's just, it's
Now, I was gracious with the Civic.
Mhm.
I didn't really have a chance to go change into regular clothing.
Right.
Walked in, the salesman spotted me, and I just let him have it. It's like, look, I need something with 4 wheels and has Bluetooth and AC.
Right.
That's it. I don't need an SUV. I don't need a truck. I just need a car. Like, okay, I got the perfect thing for you.
Yeah. You
I
just
got a Honda
you
Civic
want
that
something to get
rolled
you
right
from
off the
point A to
truck.
point B. Yeah.
Like, all right. A week later, it was mine.
That works.
Thing had 81 miles on it.
Damn.
I feel like if I ever get an actual like recruiter on this podcast, I feel like you guys would just have a fucking field day.
No, not at all. I mean,
No.
like with my recruiter, we became really,
True.
really, really good friends.
Fair.
He didn't try to sugarcoat anything. He didn't try to fucking, play games or whatnot. Me and Josh became like really, really good friends. So, like when I was in boot camp, there was people, they were sitting there going, well, when I go back home, I'm gonna go beat the shit out of my fucking recruiter. He lied to me, and I'm like, the fuck did he lie to you about? And they're like, well, he didn't say it was going to be like this. I'm like, well, you probably didn't ask the right fucking questions either.
Also, it's not what he doesn't say is not lying. He just didn't mention it.
Mhm.
What he doesn't mention is not lying. It'd be different if he said, so you're going to come here and it's going to be a very easy thing. You're not going to do any work, it's just going to be fun, laid back. That would be lying.
Yeah, well, anybody that fell for that deserves it.
Exactly.
Like straight up, if you fell for something like that, you know what? That ain't on the recruiter. That's just your dumbass.
Dude, I want to go back up to Illinois and find my old recruiter because he was on his way out,
Mm-hmm.
and I owe that man a beer or 3.
Right.
I just would
I'll buy a whole case.
I just would love to eventually get a recruiter on here and just get their opinions on recruiters.
Oh, a
As
lot of
a
recruiters
recruiter.
fucking hate recruiters.
That's kind of funny.
And then where it gets really fun is like if you have a strip mall where all the branches are fucking present, then they have a good time fucking with each other.
I bet. Oh, I bet.
I'll tell you what. I'll go take a picture of the line of recruiting offices at my mall.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back to my old high school and just try to get a recruiter that's over there on the podcast.
I think
That'd be a bad idea.
I know Strawberry knows a recruiter. I think they might be in Regiment.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure Regiment has almost everyone in every field.
Well, I mean, at some point in your career, you have the opportunity to become a fucking recruiter. I was like,
that too.
hell no, not doing it.
Just like at the same aspect, at some points in your career, you have the opportunity to become a drill instructor.
Paul is gonna be
do that one too.
Paul's gonna be that guy if he can make recruiter. Paul's gonna be that guy, just like, so here's everything about it. Everything else that people say is bullshit. Yeah, don't come in.
Have fun.
Do that. I would definitely not be the type that's going to try to,
no,
fucking slime ball somebody into joining. But I'm going to tell them straight up. This is what's going to happen, and have at it.
This is what's going to be expected of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Did I ever tell y'all the first jobs that came up when they tried to get me in job selection?
I
You
believe
don't think
so.
so?
You can re-say them though. I don't remember.
One of them was a truck driver with an airborne contract attached to it.
Okay, makes sense.
Then, of course, you have infantry. I think canine handler on there as well, and combat engineering.
Now,
Yeah.
what do you mean by airborne contract?
I'd go to basic AIT, and then I'd go to airborne school
Oh.
and go learn how to jump out of an airplane.
Yep. No thanks. I don't need to jump out of a perfectly working airplane.
That's fair.
I'm not saying I've never done it, but
Don't need
I
to.
want to go skydiving eventually. Eventually, I want to.
You can keep that because knowing what I know from air traffic control,
That's fair.
it has
That's
absolutely
fair.
turned off of skydiving.
All right, how much in donations to make Kaka go? You can do a live stream jumping out of an airplane.
fuck that.
Y'all ain't got the
I did
number.
a fucking halo jump, which is a high altitude, low opening. And it's a bit crazy when the back of that fucking plane opens up and you realize, oh shit, I'm way the fuck up here.
Oh
And
yeah,
all I did when I jumped, I immediately, I got into the flat position and I just literally was staring at my fucking altimeter that was on my wrist until I hit the designated opening. I did not look around. I didn't do any of that stupid, silly shit that people do. Nope. I kept my eyes glued on that altimeter until I hit fucking that. Yep. I hit that spot, yanked that fucking cord, and I was like, get me the fuck out of this damn thing.
That's very fair.
Y'all ain't got the money to get me to go skydiving. No, do you realize what they have to do for the area that you go skydiving in?
Yo.
I don't.
That airspace is shut down
I can imagine.
completely.
I could imagine because jumping out.
We'll go to an air show.
What's that?
Air
I
show.
will go to an air show.
I've been to an air
But
show.
you're not flying the plane, so yeah, of course you'll go to the fucking air show, you jackass.
Been to a few air shows.
They're
They
fun.
also,
They get kind of repetitive though.
They do. They really do. I've been to only a few because they get repetitive. Now, air shows get really fucking repetitive when you actually see a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because every year,
if the Blue Angels are there, if it's your first time ever seeing them, yeah, it's fucking really cool to see. But yeah, after the third or fourth one of them, you're like, oh fuck. So they're gonna do this, and they're gonna do this, and here comes the other plane. Oh shit, Rogue showed up. What's up, Rogue?
Because I see the Blue Angels, but then there's another one in Minnesota that's different. That is usually different every year because they're actually like they're not the Blue Angels. They're like a separate company that are in Minnesota that host a whole flight show event. So they do things a little bit differently.
And the Thunderbirds.
Mm-hmm. So we have like we have a kind of like a local thing up here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of switch it up. Words kind of.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the air shows, they kind of get their shit together. They'll have the Blue Angels one year, they'll have the Thunderbirds the next year, or something like that. But when it's the Blue Angels, fucking 3 times a year, you've seen it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not showing me anything that I have never seen before at that point.
I mean, yeah. I've also seen some weird ass fireworks shows. Because there was one show that we had that where they literally those old like spinning wheels that are for the water, fucking the giant wheels for the old water wheels, the big spinning water wheels.
Mm-hmm.
There was one fireworks show where they had that thing go across the water, and there was this fireworks strapped to the bitch.
Yeah,
it was fucking weird. It was the entrance to their fireworks show, and it was like, so you grab the water, old-fashioned water wheel, you covered it in fireworks, lit off the fuse, and then go have it tremble down the water. All right.
Nice.
Interesting idea. Give them originality at least on it.
Yep.
I
went to one
challenged
in
myself this year.
Say again?
I challenged myself this year, July 4th.
Yeah.
Went to a fireworks show with my wife.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you're still here, so I guess it went well.
True.
I'm not locked up, so
Exactly. Now we
I
went to
was
one
shaking at the
where
end.
the fuck was I? I was in Reno, Nevada. I went to their big, fireworks extravaganza, and 2 minutes into it, they started lobbing their mortars up. And one of them came back down and exploded and then blew up the entire fucking area because all the mortars started going off. It was fucking hilarious.
So I'm guessing fireworks don't.
How much you want to bet? You can still find a video of that somewhere.
I'm sure I probably could.
So fireworks don't bother that much, I'm guessing, Paul?
This was well before I went to the
this
military.
was before. Okay, this is for the military. Okay.
Yeah, this was before the military. This was when I lived in Reno.
So never mind. I'm guessing fireworks do somewhat bother you then.
Yeah, and it's kind of a raw deal, basically, for me where I live. The people behind me are extremely wealthy.
I can speak of experience with people around me. So
yeah, they own all the dominoes in the South of the United States. So they get to pretty much do whatever they want. These people, they have a tendency of using professional fireworks in their backyard and blowing them up over my house.
We have a over here, like across the fucking road, we have one neighbor that he's a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those high-end commercial truck drivers. So he travels all around the country, and every time he comes home with new fireworks.
Oh, of course.
Every trip he comes back more and more fireworks, and it gets to the point that when the 4th of July comes, he has like 200 grand in just fucking fireworks, like 200 grand to $1 million in fireworks, and it's just like,
right.
Jesus Christ. And these are the people that started, you remember 2 years ago when we murdered the forest fire?
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that started that forest fire by shooting propane tanks with fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
Purposely shooting propane tanks. They decide to strap a bunch of motors to a propane tank, and they want to see how far they can launch it.
Yeah, that makes
that's always worked in the past.
And they blew up the propane tank. One of the propane tank piece metal went flying into the woods. About 8 hours later, it was still really hot. About 8 hours later, and it caught the woods on fire.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see that happening.
And it's just like, really, it's a smart idea to try to launch propane tanks with fireworks. That makes sense. Launching an explosive device with another explosive, basically.
I mean, I can't say much. The CBs, we have a habit of doing some really stupid shit for fun.
True. You were CBs.
Oh, I still am a CB. You don't lose that title.
I know. There's a reason why There's a reason why you have that bottle I sent you.
Right.
Still, one of my favorite stories from history is CBs stealing a train.
Oh, the great CB train robbery. Yeah, we did that. Amongst other things.
Yeah, but I mean, you still a few fucking Hummers.
Yeah, but the great train robbery is a
true
phenomenal fucking story. If you ever get a chance to find out about it or whatnot.
Why did they steal a train?
They needed it.
Because
pretty much they fucking needed it.
They were behind enemy lines, and there's this
stole the enemy's fucking train.
Yeah. Oh, is enemy train? That's okay. That's okay. Enemy train, that's okay.
And their beer.
Yeah, they did manage to sneak out the fucking alcohol as well, but I mean that's pretty much fucking normal.
That's normal for just about anybody.
Exactly.
Normal military things.
You know, I heard about it, and I actually had to go back and watch the story again because I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they did that. Oh, geez. I mean, they did a lot of really really shady shit in the Vietnam era. I also know that a couple of the guys that I served with, when the first Iraq War started, as they were pushing in, uh, at one point, I guess the Marines had, a few CBs with them. They had their dozers on the trailers and whatnot. And, uh, apparently, the unit that a couple of my buddies were with, they did not have any armor with them when they were pushing into a town. So they, immediately called the CBs that were, driving truck, and they were launching fucking dozers off the back of these trailers and pushing into fucking towns with Marines running behind them. Because the dozer has a big fucking blade on it. So there's your bulletproof fucking wall. So yeah, they have a tendency to do really, off the wall shit, but at the same time, the job gets fucking done.
And most of the time, it's from what I've heard, it's pretty funny to watch.
We have a tendency to do some really dumb shit, and somehow it works, and we still get our asses chewed out, but then we get a high five at the end of the ass chewing.
All right. If I ever host a fireworks show, we're just gonna hire a pool and a few other CBs.
God, yeah, that would be a fucking terrible idea.
That's why it's a
we
great
were
idea.
always known for having firework wars.
That's why it's a great idea.
No, because if you give us mortar, like, legit mortar fucking professional fireworks, we're gonna blow someone's house up just fucking good, just to have fun and see what happens.
Fine.
I
We'll
have
buy
a
a
list.
we'll buy a
Yeah,
shitty
well,
run.
we all have that list.
We'll just buy a shitty rundown house just so you guys can put fireworks in it. And then
That's
have fire
also a bad
department on
idea.
fire department on standby.
You might want to have fucking more than the fire department on standby.
I want to have the whole entire town.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, Rogue. I'll cuddle with you.
Just call us fire department. So yeah, we have a few CBs. We're gonna be lighting off a few fireworks inside a house. You might want to come over here.
Yeah, but see, you got to remember, we're going to light off those fireworks inside the house, but we're not going to be in the house to do it. So we're going to be across the street
and shoot a gun.
Drunk as shit, trying to see who can get it into the house, which means all the other houses around the area are blowing up first.
Fire.
We're setting everything on fire. Probably the street, the fire department, because that would be funny as hell to us. We'd be like, hey, shoot the fire truck, see if they can put it out.
And then you're just going to have me sitting even further back, just... Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
happen. Hey,
Okay.
Kari.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
So that's why we get
We probably
10
steal the
acre-
fire truck too.
You guys are known for stealing shit.
And possibly the ambulance.
Tactically acquired.
Borrowing?
And possibly the ambulance.
No, we don't borrow shit.
That's fair.
Yeah, we tactically acquire it, and that's all we say.
Like, how'd you get that Humvee? I acquired it.
No, when we
we
drove through the fucking fob, and it quite clearly says that it's a Army Humvee. Our security detail at the gate, they looked at us and they're like, "Where'd this come from?" Shut up. And we just kept driving. Drove it right over to the bay where my mechs were working and pulled in, and they were just like, what are we doing with this? I said, all those parts you're missing? Yeah, here's your parts. And they went to town.
Like, what do you expect me to do with this?
Jesus, Rogue.
Oh, no. They knew exactly what to do with it.
Fair.
We repainted it. We did all kinds of stupid shit when we were getting ready to come back home, because we had to put that on the fucking ship. And they definitely are going to have an issue if all of a sudden there's an Army vehicle on the fucking ship. So, yeah, we repainted that bitch and it said CB on it.
I mean, fair enough, Rogue. Fair enough. Rogue's talking about strapping one way to a hill to a fucking tree next to the fireworks going off and dropping eggs down his throat.
So a typical Friday night. I got it.
Yeah, essentially.
No big deal for him.
Fair enough. It's definitely a normal Rogue thing.
No better friend, no worse enemy. Fucking hoorah. Hell yeah.
Rogue, would you like to join us? We call it clusterfuck for a reason because we don't care. So would you like to join us, Rogue?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and relive that sponsorship reading you did.
Yeah. That was a fucking special moment right there with water wings and a fucking helmet.
What's that last episode sponsorship reading?
No, we're talking about the one.
This one.
This one.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, that
with
was
the
fun.
fucking fuck.
Fuckity fuck.
It's great. It's just great promotional shit, you know?
Oh, what did you miss? No, Rogue, he butchered the fucking sponsorship fucking announcement.
This is great promotional shit saying fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, at least
on to Audible and fuck.
And once you get fucking Audible, you can fucking, it's like, whoa, dude. It's way too much fucking going on.
And in the back of my head, it's like, this is the wrong website to be saying this on.
That's what I was thinking.
It's all normal, it's all nervous stuff. Don't worry about it, man.
It's what it is.
Exactly. It's all relatively normal, right? Yeah.
Which is why I'm glad that my broadcast writing professor allowed me to use the info from this podcast for one of my projects.
You should just send your professor our podcast just so he can listen to the podcast.
Oh yeah, that'd be fucking perfect. Your ass would be thrown out of that fucking class so quickly.
I am not sending her this podcast.
No balls. No fucking balls.
Come on, let's make her a guest when Rogue Marines is on.
Oh God, no.
How the fuck over one way's college experience completely?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get me sent to student services? That's how you get me sent to student services.
Hey, you know what? You got to go there sometime.
I mean, yeah.
No.
No, you don't want a video essay? Come on.
Bad enough I have to write real ones.
Yeah. No, thanks. I'm glad I don't fucking deal with school.
But I will say this: I took my. They have a writing lab assessment for my English class, and I had to do modules 1 through 6, and you have the ability to test out of them.
Right.
I tested out of 4 out of the 6.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
For somebody who claims to have really bad grammar when it comes to writing.
Oh, no. There's no claim there. It's factual.
See,
then explain to me how I tested out of 4 out of 6.
And apparently you really do.
Hey, it's okay. My shit's worse than your shit. My grammar's worse than yours one way. So it's okay.
Your biggest part is if you actually learn to spell, you'll be...
True.
School didn't teach me shit, man.
Did you even go?
I did.
Okay.
That's also why you have friends around you that you can send, hey, how do you spell this word?
Believe it or not, I was top of my class of straight A's. I also tested out of all generals on the ACT.
We need to rewind time and I need to go through high school at his high school.
And then also, I on the ACT, I scored a high enough score to where I tested out of all my generals if I ever went to college, which I didn't.
Nothing wrong with that.
And oddly enough, math was my best subject, even though I always say I'm worst at math. But yet,
Well, what
it
I
was.
get a kick out of when I don't, it happened when I went to school, and I know Rogue will fucking agree with this, but that was one of the funnest things in math class, or one of the biggest things. They were like, "Well, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket when when you're an adult in the real world." Bullshit, motherfucker.
Welcome to the
The age of technology.
Literally, so when I was in like middle school, my math teacher literally said, "You won't have a calculator on you all the time." I'm just like, I own a phone. I literally owned one.
Yeah, I mean, but like for the older folks that didn't have cell phones in fucking school and shit, it's just ironic now that we're walking around with basically a portable computer, and it's like, yeah, no, we seriously, yeah, no, we've got a calculator.
turtle.
Oh yeah.
You walked into that one, bud.
Hey, I didn't say I didn't, but yes, I did go to school. I went to not a good school. Just put it that way. Oh, the reason why my shit's so behind in other people is because of my ADHD. They just said fuck you and put me in special ed. And where there, I learned absolutely nothing.
Right.
Even though I was in college chem as well. It's kind of funny how that goes. I'm in college chem, but I'm in special ed classes.
Of course.
That makes perfect sense, right?
I'll be right back. I just got to go take care of something real quick.
Like, I was in special ed math, and then I was in college chem. Like, how the fuck does that work?
So,
Don't hurt yourself.
I'm in constant pain.
So am I, so that's fair.
I think that issue with my sciatic nerves coming back, and I've ran out of visits to the chiropractor. So,
Well, that's fair.
Because you only get 12 a year.
So, like, once a month then? Kind of deal?
Yeah, but
I'm guessing you don't.
Maintenance. They don't account for maintenance. They don't. Yeah.
So it's basically one chiropractor appointment a month, essentially. Makes sense. Makes sense.
That's a definite possibility, but
Rogue, how would you know it's sharp though? Been down there a few times, Rogue? Maybe just a few. I don't know.
So, the one thing that I can actually say about myself is my reading comprehension.
Mine's really good, surprisingly.
Hey, Rogue.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What you doing, camera?
Camera.
I hold on.
And moment number 2 of Rex speaking a different language.
There we go. That works better. That works.
They tested me in 2nd grade, my reading level, and I was reading at a 6th grade level.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
They tested at 5th grade, and I think I was pronouncing and defining words that were at a senior level.
I suck at pronouncing words, as you know.
Enunciate.
As
I
you
actually
know.
have an exercise that I can give him that was given to me by my broadcast speech professor.
It's Pool.
Yeah. he's
The
back.
old man's back.
In fact, I'll drop it in post chat.
Because we know how much you love it here, Pool.
Oh, I love being everywhere.
You also love saying I hate it here too, though. So.
It's I've never said that. What are you talking about?
Oh, you've never said that?
Never have said that.
We might have there's most likely a clip somewhere on your stream. There's most likely a clip or VOD somewhere on your stream with you saying those words.
Not if I delete them all.
That's fair.
Oh.
So I got a question for you, Rex.
Oh, what's up?
Other than, obviously the guests that you've had on, what are some, I guess you could say, whale guests that you would love to see on your show?
Any what?
Would be like a great white whale, like the big time fucking guests that you would like to have on your show.
Like, oh my word, we have to stop everything that we're doing right now and plan.
There's a lot of those. You know what I mean? Like anyone with like that's a tough question. You know what I mean?
I think you
That's
broke
why
him.
I asked it.
That's a tough question.
I think you broke him, Pool.
I think I did a good job.
See, in all honesty, for me, it wouldn't even be a guest that's U.S. military. It would honestly be like a different country military.
Yeah.
Because I would just love to have someone from a different country and have their standpoint, how their military is differs from the U.S. military.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it would honestly just be someone from an outside military than just the U.S.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good one. French Foreign Legion. Yeah, there you go.
That would be a hell of an episode.
You want to know how we get banned? We have one Russian soldier and we have one Ukraine soldier on the podcast at the same time. To be fair,
it probably wouldn't turn into fucking fireworks. To be honest,
no, it probably wouldn't. You're right.
Because on that note, both understand why they're there.
If we get both of their world leaders on, that'll be a different story.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go into that one because that'll turn this thing really fucking dark real quick.
No, not going to get into that one either. Well, it'll be really interesting if once we actually get someone from like a different country on.
Yeah.
Especially if we get someone like from like a third world country. Granted, that's given they speak English. That's the one issue on that one.
Would definitely be a helpful thing.
Yeah. That's just giving people that if they speak English.
Yeah, Rogue, you're 100% right, man. Their fucking uniform, it is pretty badass.
No, we just have a complete foreigner who doesn't know how to speak English, so they're just not even understanding a word that we're saying. We don't know what they're saying either. It's just a clusterfuck.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. I guarantee that.
Hey, you've already had two moments where you spoke a foreign
different language. 100% a different fucking language.
Yeah, it's called the Rex language. I don't know if you heard of it.
English? What about you, Hawk? What would be considered that white whale you'd like to see on the podcast?
Honestly, I do love Rex's idea, but I want to further define it.
Okay.
And I do love Rogue's idea of the French Foreign Legion,
Mm.
but I would want us to start with an ally.
So Canada or UK?
Wait. So the French Foreign Legion isn't an ally?
Is it
No,
French?
they're an ally. I want.
Then define what you're saying here.
Define ally.
Essentially, yeah. Define ally.
All right, let me backtrack this for a second.
Okay, we'll walk this one back a little.
Completely different standpoint here. But I would love to actually see, since the military veterans that are on the podcast as co-hosts were all enlisted or lower enlisted.
Yeah, this is
NCO.
true.
Right.
This is true.
I would love to see a junior grade officer or a senior officer.
That could be dangerous.
Come on to the podcast.
That could be interesting and probably dangerous.
I mean, yeah, it was. There's another episode that was going to be dangerous if it doesn't fall through, which you know exactly what episode I'm talking about, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
That episode is going to be dangerous if it actually happens.
Now, I think that one it is a little bit of a different circumstance. If you have,
I mean, yeah.
let's say if we had, a retired fucking, JO or something like that on the podcast, it could get quite funny because you've got, lower enlisted, senior enlisted, co-hosts and this, that, and the other. With a JO, we're gonna fucking ream the hell out of them just for fucking shits and giggles. We're gonna bring out every bad quality that they have ever had in their military career.
It's fair.
And we'll smile the whole fucking time we're doing it.
Because we know we can get away with it now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, hell, you could get.
I got away with a lot of shit when I was active, but.
Well, hell, you guys could even get away with it if you guys are doing an active duty one, not even just a veteran one.
Yeah, but I mean, the nice thing about
there's a certain respect that goes.
I mean, that's true as well.
I mean, the nice thing about if they're not active duty is they're not going to try and keep that officer persona going while they're talking with you and everything. They'll be able to lighten up a hell of a lot more than say an active duty JO.
I've also learned talking to our internal affairs is a fucking pain in the fucking ass.
Mm-hmm. Very much is.
Don't ask. I've regretted asking a higher up in the military to come on the podcast because I am just talking. I'm just left with talking to a bunch of assistants.
Well, of course. I mean, they're
PAO.
I know.
They're very high ranking and they're active duty. So, I mean, there is a lot of red tape
I understand. I understand. I messaged someone on Discord and it's like, yeah, yeah, sure. I get a phone call from Internal Affairs. I'm like, what the fuck's this? Why am I getting a phone call from Public Affairs? And they're like, so we want to speak to you about this episode. And 3 months later, I'm still talking with them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you'll be talking with them probably until this fucker retires.
Until the episode and then after.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still talking with these fuckers about this episode, or even trying to get this thing to happen.
Yeah.
Because Public Affairs, they don't give up.
Oh yeah, and they'll be a very large laundry list of things that you will not be allowed to bring up or talk about.
Well, yeah, obviously he's active, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's active and he wears a lot of shiny. So, yeah.
He does wear a lot of shiny.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, I would love to see fucking Pool Shark on this goddamn podcast.
I don't have those connections right now. I'm sorry.
he does not give a fuck. And
I don't have those connections right now.
I know. I'm working on it for you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But I think an episode with Pool Shark would be absolutely hysterical.
Because there's 2 episodes that are in the making. They're not confirmed yet, but they're being worked on. As the one we just talked about, the 3-star general. That one's in the making, kind of in the making, going back and fast for Return Affairs. The other one is Pastelli with me talking with his social media team and stuff, trying to get that worked out as well. But that's still in the making. It's
and that'll probably be in the making for a while.
He's a busy person. They're busy people. Time gap, big time gap. He's Australian, we're US. There's a time gap there.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So there's 2 episodes that are in the making.
God.
They're just being a real, just talking with not even a person, just talking back and forth with basically their teams.
Oh yeah. Oh, good Lord. I'm going to tell you right now, my dinner smells fucking fantastic.
So here's one for y'all.
What?
Given that we're like 3/4 of the way through the year, we did a lot of work the first year this podcast has actually been.
We haven't been open for a year yet. But yes, we have, I guess.
Follow me on this.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll follow you on this.
Because it's actually leading to the question.
Oh, okay.
Given that 2023 is coming up, what are some goals that y'all have for 2023?
Well, for 2023, when we actually I've already discussed about this, and I've already determined this on when we hit our year episode. That's when we're opening the doors to first responders. So after the podcast has been happening for a year, that's when we open the doors for first responders. So coming in 2023, we will be open to first responders.
That'd be cool.
And get a few of them on the podcast as well. And that's all I'm going. Military and first responders. That's all I'm doing because it makes sense to have them together. Anything else doesn't really.
So let me ask you this as a follow-on here. Are you grouping law enforcement in with first responder?
Yes. First responders, law enforcement, It'd also be really cool to get like a border patrol person on the stuff, just all that whole range of things. There's a lot of guests I think it would be cool to get on.
Yeah, and it would be nice for people to be able to hear, some of the things that they go through. Because unfortunately there's just like with veterans, there's a bad stigma about them. There's a lot of bad fucking publicity when it comes to our law enforcement, border patrol, and stuff like that. So it would be a good thing to actually, allow them to have a forum where they can speak and talk about, what really goes on, as opposed to, what media likes to blow out of proportion and portray.
And then we'll also have, EMS firefighters as well. Basically, anything that's under first responder category will be able to come on the podcast. Which, granted, I'm not changing the name of the podcast, but the name the meaning of the name doesn't really fit when we throw first responders in. But whatever. Because I name it Asylum Arms because arms as in armed forces, but it's okay.
No, there's no reason to have to,
exactly
change the title or something like that.
Exactly, I'm not.
There's no rebranding needed.
So first responders will be added to the podcast next year. Is there anything that you guys are excited for at all? Do you guys want to do for 2023?
Honestly, I hadn't even thought about it. Right now, I just want to make it to 2023.
That's fair.
Fair.
I've got a lot of medical shit that I'm going to take care of before I fucking start worrying about 2023 right now.
So one of the things that I'm excited for is me going back to school.
Right.
I'm excited to see what kind of production value I can bring behind the scenes for for the podcast. Um, and I think some of the stuff that I'm learning basics of right now
Yeah.
is going to be able to help not only Rex but all of us out in the future.
But
Mhm.
And
another
Cole, you already have some experience
Oh, yeah, I've
in
got a
in
little
the
bit.
in the field that I'm studying.
Yep.
Um, but it doesn't hurt. I can just send something. Hey, does this look right?
Absolutely.
another thing that I'm excited for that's going to be coming into 2023 is when I turn Asylum Arms into a legit company, because we're turning the name into a legit company. Hopefully 2023. It's just a lot of fucking work to do and a lot of time.
Yeah. So
Takes
you're
a
doing like an
lot of
LLC
time.
or something?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to actually process this shit, because I need to pay for copyright. I need to pay for copyright and trademark, which those takes months to be approved,
Mhm.
and then the company itself takes like another few months to be approved. So it's just a lot of time and effort
You'll
and
get there, though.
filling out paperwork with the federal government.
Yes. Everybody's favorite fucking people.
Yes.
Eh, come sign this paperwork. When am I getting my money? When we feel like it.
Yeah. But God forbid you owe them money. They want it now.
Yeah.
No, they
Right
don't want
fucking
it now.
now.
They want it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they'll do whatever they can to get it.
Yeah.
I got taken off of flight status, and the paperwork for me getting taken off of flight status didn't quite make it to finance on time.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
they had overpaid me for 6 months.
Yeah, that's
And
not good.
I get called into the commander's office, and it's like, yeah, we got a problem.
You overpaid your ass.
You haven't been on flight status for 6 months, and you've still been drawing flight pay. So here's what I need you to do. They slid me a piece of paper with two options on it. I can either repay the entirety of the
Yep. Of the overpay.
flight flight overpay, or I can do $300 a month for however long.
Right.
I think the third one where I can split it up into like 2 payments.
Mhm.
And I sat there with my commander. Is like, look, I can't afford that option. I can kind of afford that option if I don't eat for 2 months. So, option 3. Okay. He signed it. I signed it. I delivered it to finance.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's option
3 months.
4, but you don't want to do option 4, especially with the
Option 4
government.
involves
Don't want to do
option 4
option 4.
involves me spending some time in a nice little cell.
Yeah, you don't want to do the option 4, especially with federal. You can get away with it a little bit with the state, but federal, no, not in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean they did that to me too when I got transferred or when I moved up, down here to Mississippi. They overpaid me for a few months, but we knew it and took the overpayment and just put it, in a separate account and waited. And then finally, yeah, the Navy was like, "Oh shit, we overpaid you. We want all the
I
money."
know.
And we were like, "Here you go.
Hi.
Yep, here's your fucking 18 grand right back in your pocket. So shut the fuck up." Even
Jesus Christ.
my admin was fucking happy as shit because when I got called in there and our chief was or the chief in the admin office, they were like, she was all look, EO2, we the Navy overpaid you, and unfortunately, it's about $18,000 and they want it now. Do you need to go get a loan or anything? And I'm like, no, I kept all that fucking money in a separate account. I'm just gonna fucking write you a goddamn check. And she was like, I love you so much right now because this could have just gone really bad.
Um And then what was really interesting was the actual disability process. When I initially went through it,
Mhm.
I was the better part of homeless.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I was sleeping on a buddy's couch, had a piece of shit laptop, and a piece of shit phone that didn't have any minutes on it.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
Well, I found the workaround for that, which was some Wi-Fi calling thing. I couldn't really leave the house because I didn't have a car.
Right.
So, you know, I went through the medical side of it. Then I started calling every day. Any change, any change, any
Mhm.
change, any change. Till eventually I woke up and I saw on my I woke up and checked my bank account and I saw a deposit of 15 grand.
Yep. All that back pay.
Well, okay.
I did
Only
something
a
right.
slight amount of money.
That paid for 2 cars, 2 computers, and a new phone
Yep.
With minutes on it.
with an actual plan.
Right.
I think at
Yeah, I
that
mean,
point I was using an
when I
S6.
retired, I was at 90% disability. And I think it was probably about 8 months after I was retired that they pushed it to 100. And then the way I found out, same thing, was all of a sudden there was a massive deposit in the bank from the VA, and I'm like, okay, so logged into the VA's website, and all of a sudden it said my disability was 100%. I'm like, okay, now I know where the fucking money came from. It's back pay.
um, so of course I got that right around this time is actually when Mrs. Hawkeye and I actually started talking.
Hmm.
Um, we were just friends at that point. She was somebody that was fairly easy to talk to, and uh, I was spending time trying to get back on my feet. I wasn't really trying to date.
Right.
Then a couple months later, I'm like, okay, yeah, something changed. I'm no longer not trying to date. I want her.
Right. Well, you
And
obviously did something right because you got her. Either that, or you kept her drugged this entire time, and she's not even aware of it yet.
I don't.
no,
I think we're giving Hockey too much credit there.
I'm smarter than I look. Okay, we don't need to talk about the fact that I almost accidentally blew things up.
Wait, I think we might have to talk about
Well,
that.
I honestly think we do. Um, would you like to talk about, let's say a few words about this on one way?
Uh, remember that piece of crap laptop
Yeah, which one?
that I had before?
Yeah,
I got the back pay. Yeah, I
yeah.
tried to blow it up, gaming on it.
Oh,
In your house?
Where else am I going to be sitting underneath the freeway overpass?
I mean,
gaming it.
if you're blowing the fucker up, baby.
After I got done with buying the new computer, I actually found somebody to let me use it as target practice.
There you go.
It
I'm
was a fun
sorry.
that was a fun way to close that chapter of my life.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
absolutely.
When you were mumbling, buddy, it sounded like you were about to say nuclear. I'm like, the fuck you trying to do?
Look, I ain't trying to get anybody showing up at my house and going, "Come out with your hands up." Well, too
Just
bad
tell
for
them
you.
you
I can't.
just next time something like that happens, if you ever just remember, if you ever have someone knock on your door and tell you to come out with your hands up, tell them to come in with their hands down. Usually stops the conversation and they just wait a minute and they're like, "What the fuck did he just say to me?"
It's like, we need to have a conversation. How many of you are out there? 2? Talk to yourselves.
Yep. There's your conversation. You don't need me to be a part of it. Not into threesome. Sorry, fucker.
Oh.
Well, good to know. If I hear people some yell and get my hands up, I'm going to say exactly that. Pool. Come in with your hands down.
Yep.
All right, so Rex,
what?
Aside from podcast, do you have any goals as far as 2023 is considered?
No, not really. Besides moving out of this house, it's about the only goal. Other than that, podcast and moving, the only 2 goals I really have. I basically said fuck normal streaming. I don't even normal stream to begin with anymore because I want to work on podcasts more than stream.
And then we know Pool's ultimate goal, make it to 2023.
That's pretty much it right now. I ain't focused on anything else but just, get through this bullshit, that I'm going through right now.
Mine is obviously school, and then if you want the Twitch side, I'm gonna start overhauling some of the stuff on my channel.
Yeah.
But thankfully with this computer, I don't have to do much to it. Most of what I have to do is just personal shit that I want to do to it.
Right.
Put some upgraded parts and stuff like that.
Good old
hard drive space and internal capture card, stuff like that.
Mm.
And then start working on ways to improve my production value.
Well, and in your classes and everything else like that will help you with getting through portions of that.
And I did drop that articulation exercises PDF in host chat.
Mm-hmm.
Rex, I would strongly suggest that you go take a look at it.
Maybe. Who knows? It depends.
I'll be okay without it.
It depends if ADHD says, eh.
Yeah, right.
It's literally 2 phrases.
So now, Rex, when is your? Because I know you were talking about it for quite a while. When is your time to start? Pretty much getting serious about moving, because you said you wanted to move for quite a while now.
When I get money.
Now, I was going to say it. Now I understand with the no job part, that kind of fucking.
No. So here's my thing with moving out. When I get enough money is when I move out. There is no set date. It's just whenever I get like about 7 to 8 grand, I'm out.
That works.
There is no time frame or specific day. It's just when I get the money, I'm out of this house like a week later. That's how that goes.
So now, how about that job interview that you went on? Does it?
I didn't get the job.
You didn't.
I didn't have enough. I didn't have basically the job was concreting. And there's 13 other applicants that have concrete experience.
Gotcha.
Me, never worked in concrete before yet, so I've worked in several other fields, but not concreting.
Yeah, that's a pretty specific fucking field.
Yeah.
Yeah, like our builders and the CVs, they have to go through some pretty extensive training to fucking get their certs done for concrete.
So yeah, I'm still on the job hunt. Hopefully I get a job soon because I am not doing so well financially at all right now.
Right.
But that's besides the point. I guess it's bound to happen when you've been unemployed for like 4 months now, 3-4 months, almost 4 now, something like that.
Do it.
Right, Hawk? I've been on the play for almost 4 now.
Roughly.
And then now with all my back medical issues are taking, because I would be still fine with the money I had saved up for moving out. I would be still fine. The back medical issues happen. And with me not having steady income to cover those, instead, my back expenses dipped into my savings I was using to move out.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now I'm back to square one to moving out, which sucks. But
yeah, but you'll get a job and that'll all fucking turn around for you.
Well, yeah, because now before I start putting money into my savings to move out, I need to pay all this back pay on debt.
Right.
And then I can pay them, and then I can start saving again. So I guess I'm further behind than what I was when I started, technically.
Yeah, I mean that does happen though.
I mean, true. Hey, on the bright side, there's not much lower I can go.
Well, let's fucking hope not. Keep that direction.
On the bright side, there's not much more lower I can go right now. What's gonna happen? Further in debt? I'm already in debt.
You definitely don't want to go further into that shit.
No, I don't. You're right. I really don't.
Yeah. That shit'll fucking bury you in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Raptor.
Hey,
Raptor. That's not a thing you want to fuck with, especially with me having my credit in the 700s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to see that fucking fall.
No, it's a pain in the ass to get up there, and it's even more of a pain in the ass to get it back.
Yeah.
Once you lose it.
Yeah.
Right, we got about 5 minutes left.
What's that?
We got about 5 minutes left on.
Alrighty.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Rapping.
Want to start rapping? No, I am not a rapper. I'm sorry. Telling you that right now, I think it never fucking happen.
We want to start wrapping this little clusterfuck of a show up into a nice little bow.
Yeah, why not?
A nice little bow?
I'll tell you what.
Bow wouldn't be pretty. The bow wouldn't be pretty. This bow isn't pretty, man. I don't know what you're talking about. You say nice little bow. Have you met us? This bow won't be pretty at all.
I sent you a raid target, by the way.
Okay, I'll look at it. It might be pretty. Pool does it, but she has not experience from the Seabees.
No, we don't. No, we don't do that.
We don't talk about that.
We use chains and cables. We don't use fucking rope.
All right, so final thoughts, Rex?
Don't.
He's dumbfounded.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell this raid target is.
Deadly.
Did Deadly change his name?
Yes.
Okay. That's the one. I didn't know Deadly changed his name. Okay. We didn't need to send me his Twitch. I have his Twitch. I'm followed to the fucker.
I did.
Yeah. I don't know. I can do it too.
Final thoughts, bitch.
Final thoughts. This is a podcast.
That's fair. I mean, you got a real good grasp of the obvious. Glad to see that.
Boy, you got final thoughts?
Well, I pretty simple final thoughts. I hope everyone has a safe weekend, a wonderful fucking evening, and god damn it, I'm hungry.
That's fair. Hawkeye.
My final thoughts are simple. But everything that Pool just said, plus, don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, we don't need to have a safety brief next week.
And if you do, don't get caught.
That's fair.
It's a fair point. It's a really fair point there. But also, before we head off of here, make sure you check out Audible and get your 30-day free trial, because if you do, it helps out the podcast. It's what paid for this mic arm, this mixture there, the mixture that fucker has too. Like it paid for a lot of shit, a lot of equipment for us.
It did. It did.
So, if you have the time and if you haven't yet to claim a membership with Audible, highly recommend using our link. 30-day free trial, completely free. So you get free shit. You don't use it, you still got a free thing, and you helped out the podcast.
That works.